Okay, now students, very good evening to all of you. So after
Evening, sir.
last time we have completed
Evening, sir.
hemichordates, no? Hello, students. Good evening to all of you. Okay, so now we have
Evening, sir.
completed the yeah we have completed the hemichordates last time. So today we are going to do some basic characters of the phylum Chordata. And Chordata is divided into three subphylums: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and the Vertebrata. So here, okay, Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. And then if you look at the page number, okay, 56, page number 56, if you look at that, the last subphylum, Vertebrata, is again subdivided into many divisions. Is divided into two divisions, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha lacks the jaws, okay, and the Gnathostomata bear the jaws. Agnatha is recognized by the class Cyclostomata, okay, and Cyclostomata is a jawless vertebrate, and then the Gnathostomata they bear the jaws, and they are divided into two superclass: Pisces or the fishes, they bear the fins for swimming, and then the Tetrapoda, they bear the limbs. And Pisces are divided into two classes: Chondrichthyes and Osteochthyes. And similarly, the Tetrapoda have the four classes: amphibians, reptilia, apes, and mammals. So we will study one by one all these. So here, first of all, we have to study basic character of the chordata. So here, I have drawn a figure that is called as this figure represent the chordate characteristics. Okay, the figure here I have drawn. This will represent the chordate characteristic. Chordate, okay, characteristics. Chordate characteristics. Okay, this will represent here the chordate characteristic. And the chordate characteristic, we find that it will be have the nerve code. Okay, this has got the nerve code. Okay, this has got also the notochord. Okay, this is called as this structure is called as our notochord. Okay, notochord, and it has the post-anal tail. Here we can go to post-anal tail. Post-anal tail, and also we have the gill slits. Okay, these are the structures are called as the gill slits. They are called as the gill slits. Okay, gill slits are there. So you see, they have the notochord, they have the nerve cord, they have the gill slits, they have the post-anal tail. Okay, so this is just an embryonic structure of the chordata. So here, mm chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of a notochord, presence of a dorsal hollow nerve cord. Dorsal hollow nerve cord means it is on the dorsal side and hollow structure, dorsal hollow nerve cord, and mm, paired pharyngeal gill slits. In the pharynx, they have the gill slits. Okay, pharynx, they have the gill slits, and these are bilaterally symmetrical. All the chordates are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic. They have the three layers: ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. They are they are coelomate. They have the body cavity inside them with organ system level of organization. They have the organ system. So the level of organization is organ system level of organization. Okay, they possesses a post-anal tail here, and they have a closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system means they have the heart and the blood vessels. That is called they have a closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory system. Okay. Okay, now these are the main characteristic of chordates. Now here there is one thing I want to ask you that you may ask me also. You have not asked me the question. Uh, mm, mm, Question you can ask me: what is the difference between the nerve cord and the notochord? Is a very important question, students. So, what are the difference between the nerve cord and the notochord? Okay. So see that nerve cord is a nerve cord here. This is a solid strand, okay, of the nervous tissue. Nerve cord control and coordinate the function of the body. Okay, nerve cord will control and coordinate the function of the body because this is connected with the brain and the nerves. Okay, and then what is the notochord? Okay, notochord is not found in the adult stage. This rod-like structure, it is found only in the embryonic stage, and it is connected with the mesoderm during the embryonic stage of formation, and this is a skeletal rod. Notochord is a skeletal rod. It is a major skeletal element of the developing embryo. You can just write somewhere in the copy, if you have the copy with you. This is very important question asked in the exam, but in the book they have not given any answer of that. So just you write down that notochord is a skeletal rod. Okay, notochord is a skeletal rod. It is found in the embryonic stage. Okay, notochord is a skeletal rod. Stop there. It is found in the embryonic stage of development. It is found in the embryonic stage of development of organisms. Embryonic. It is found in the embryonic stage of development of organisms. Okay. Stop there. Then it is a major skeletal element. It is a major MAJOR. It is a major skeletal element of the developing embryo. It is a major skeletal element of the developing embryo. Okay, that is about the notochord. And you see, nerve cord, you can write, nerve cord is a solid strand of nervous tissue. You can write there, the nerve cord is a solid strand, STRND strand, is a solid strand of nervous tissue. Okay, nerve cord is a solid strand of nervous tissue. Stop. It coordinates. It coordinates the function of the body. It coordinates the function of the body. That much. Okay. Coordinate the function of the body. Okay. So here, so now here they've given one table number 4.1 in your book, comparison of chordata and the non-chordata NCRT book they have given. So we'll go to that now. Is the difference between the chordata and the non-chordata. You see, in the chordata, we are just looking here. They have the notochord. Chordata have the notochord, and non-chordata do not have notochord. Notochord is absent in the non-chordata. Okay, and this in the chordata, central nervous system is dorsal. You see that nerve cord represents the central nervous system. It is the dorsal on the upper side, hollow and single. And in the non-chordata, central nervous system will find the ventral side on the downward side. In the non-chordata, central nervous system is ventral. It is solid and it is double. But here in the chordata, central nervous system is single, hollow, and dorsal. But the central nervous system in the non-chordata is ventral. It is solid and also double. Okay. Then, in case of chordata, we see that pharynx. Okay, pharynx is after the mouth. We have the pharynx. Then after the pharynx, we have the pharynx is the food pipe. Okay, after the pharynx, we have the stomach. So in the embryonic stage of some of the animals, they have the gill slits are found in the pharynx. So here, the pharynx perforated by gill slits. Perforated means these are open by gill slits. Okay, but in case of non-chordata, the gill slits are absent. Okay. Then in case of chordata, heart is ventral. Heart is present on the ventral side. That's like in human being. Our heart is on the ventral side. Okay, dorsal side we have the backbone, and ventral side we have the heart, no, near the lungs. Okay, below the lungs. Okay, but in case of the non-chordata, heart is Dorsal. If heart is present, it is on the dorsal side in case of non-chordata. Okay. And then we have one more character of the chordata. They have the post-anal tail is present in case of chordata. And in the non-chordata, you see the post-anal tail is absent. Okay, post-anal tail is absent. That is about the difference between chordata and the non-chordata. Very simple. You can differentiate with the notochord, nerve cord, and the circulatory system, and the post-anal tail, gill slits, heart. Heart is ventral in the chordata and the dorsal in the non-chordata. Okay, post-anal tail is present, they are absent in non-chordata. Pharynx with the gill, proprietor gill, and in the non-chordata, gill slits are absent. Okay, then here in the chordata, central nervous system is dorsal, hollow, and single. Non-chordata, central nervous system is ventral, solid, and double. And in the chordata, notochord is present. In non-chordata, notochord is absent. Okay. Achha, now you see that phylum chordata is divided into three subphyla. Okay, is divided into three subphyla. Now, see the phylum. Okay, phylum chordata. See chordata. If you go to phylum chordata, it is divided into three subphylum. Chordata is divided into three subphylum. That is our okay. These are okay. Urochordata, Urochordata. Then we have this Urochordata are also called as the tunicata. Okay, it's called as the tunicata, tunicata. Okay, tunicata. Then cephalochordata. We have the okay, cephalochordata. In the book, they are given in the book before the table 4.1. Okay, below that. So cephalochordata, and also we have the vertebrata. Okay, we have the vertebrata. Vertebrata. These are the three types of the subphyla. Chordata will be divided into phylum chordata is divided into three subphylum. These are called as the these are called as the subphylum. They are called as the they are called the subphylum. Okay. Subphylum. So the phylum chordata is divided into three subphylum: Urochordata or Tunicata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Now, okay, you see that in the figure they have given one of the figure in the book they have given 4.17 acidia. Acidia they have given. Okay, acidia. This is the okay. This is referred as the protochordata. So here you see subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata. Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as the protochordata. Okay, these two are sometimes combined, and they will be referred as the. They are sometimes referred as the protochordata. Protochordata. Okay, right? Urochordata and the Cephalochordata are sometimes referred as the protochordata, and these two subphylums are marine. They have a marine habitat. And in case of Urochordata, notochord is only in the larval tail. Notochord is present where? Not present in whole over the body. That is present in the tail of the larva in the Urochordata. While in the Cephalochordata, the notochord will present from head to the tail region. Okay, and is persistent throughout the life. So here they have differentiated Urochordata and Cephalochordata on the basis of the presence of the notochord. Okay, notochord. They have given here Urochordata. Notochord is present here only in the larval tail. Okay, in the Urochordata, notochord is present only in the larval tail, and while in the Cephalochordata, yeah, Urochordata, this is in the larval tail. Okay, tail of the larva here only in the larval tail. Okay, they are present in the larval tail. Okay, notochord. Okay, but In case of the, this is the notochord, and in case of the cephalochordata, notochord is present right from the head to tail. That one you have to remember. Very okay. And this is present throughout their whole life. Example of the urochordata will be acidia. They have given in the figure, and cephalochordata is our branchiostoma or amphioxus. Branchiostoma or amphioxus. They have not given the diagram in the book. Branchiostoma or amphioxus. You have to remember. Okay, now. mm, mm, Then we go to the member of the subphylum Vertebrata. This is very common. We are also Vertebrata. So the member of the subphylum Vertebrata, they possesses the notochord. We have just seen here in the previous diagram. They have the notochord. Okay, possesses the notochord during the embryonic period, during the embryonic development. I told you it is connected with the skeletal system, rod-like structure notochord, and it is present during the embryonic development or embryonic period. Okay, the notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Okay, very, very interesting thing here. Notochord is replaced by the vertebral column. Okay, notochord is replaced by, you see that? Okay, you see we have the notochord, this is replaced by vertebral column. Okay, this is replaced by the vertebral column in the adult. Okay, in the adult, because in the embryonic stage we find the notochord. Okay, embryonic period, but this notochord is slowly replaced by vertebral column in the adult. That you have to remember. And thus all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Mhm. Okay, because in those chordates where the vertebral column are there, they are the vertebrates, and in those chordates where no vertebral column are there, they are not the vertebrates. These chordates are not the vertebrates if they don't have the vertebral column. Okay, then beside the basic vertebral, beside the basic chordate, just now we have done the chordate character, no? So beside the basic chordate character, there is one additional character, some additional character of the vertebrates. All the vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart. They have a muscular heart on the ventral side with either 2, 3, or 4 chambers. As for example, in the human being, we have the 3 chambers. In the amphibian, they have the 3 chamber. Human being, we have the 4 chambers. Amphibian, they have the 3 chambers. So, uh, fishes, they have 2 chambers. So, in this way, the chamber of the heart varies according to the class. Okay. And the kidneys, they have the kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation and paired appendages, which may be fins or limbs. We have the limbs in the fishes, they have the fins like that. So appendages, they help in the movement. Okay. So these are the basic character of the vertebrae. See, first of all, we have to okay, but have to know that the subphylum vertebrata, the very strong character is there. They have the notochord during the embryonic development. Suppose somebody will give you 2, 3 embryo to examine, and they will say that find out which one will be a vertebrate. So in the embryonic stage, if you see that if the notochord is there, then we certainly say that, oh, this embryo will be a vertebrate. Okay, the notochord is replaced slowly in the adult stage, I told you, by the vertebral column in the adult. Okay. Besides all these character, the all uh, vertebrates have the ventral muscular heart, and heart is with the 2 chamber, 3 chamber, or 4 chamber, very common, and they have kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and they have the pair appendages for locomotion, just like the it may be fins or limbs. This is very clear. It's nothing to explain here. These are the things here. Then I told you last time that if you look at the table number, okay, table in page number 56, the vertebrata. So vertebrata is divided 2 division. I told you agnatha and stomata. Agnatha, they don't have jaws, and the gnathostomata bears jaw. And agnatha has got only one class known as cyclostomata, And the Gnathostomata, they have the two super class because they contain more classes. That's why super class. Pisces and the Tetrapoda. Pisces, that's like fishes, have two class only, Conductis and the Osteoctis. Tetrapoda have the four class, Amphibia, Reptilia, apes, and mammals. Now, okay, basing on these, we will go to first of all the Jawless Vertebrate. Jawless Vertebrate is Agnatha. They will ask you jaw, name the jawless vertebrate Agnatha. And if they ask you name a class of jawless vertebrate, then we will write the Cyclostomata. So now we'll go to what are Cyclostomata. Cyclostomata is the jawless vertebrate. An example they have given here, Petromyosin. Okay, Petromyosin. This is a jawless vertebrate. We try to complete today all these because we don't have time. We have to go to other chapter also. So here, okay, this is that. Okay, right. This is that. Okay, now, okay, this is Petromyosin. Petromyosin. Petromyosin is a jawless vertebrate. They don't have jaw. Okay, so um, all living members of the class Cyclostomata are ectoparasites on some of the fishes. They are they remain attached with some bigger fishes. Ecto means the external parasites of fishes. Okay, they will remain on they will attach with the bigger fishes. Okay, they will attach with the bigger fishes. Okay. Um, okay, now they have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. They have a long body or elongated body here, just we see in case of the Petromyosin, and they have the 6 to 15 pairs of the gill slits. So here the gill slits are there. Okay, gill slits. These are okay. These are 6 to 15 pairs. Gill slits are how many pairs? 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are there. Okay, for the respiration, 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are there for respiration. And you see that the cyclostomata, okay, have a sucking and circular mouth. If you look at the mouth here, mouth will be circular. If you look at the mouth here, okay, they are just like this. The mouths are, if you look at the mouth, and in large view, they are like this. Okay, they are there. This is called as a sucking mouth. Sucking mouth. They have the sucking mouth. Okay, sucking type of the mouth and circular. Sucking and circular type of mouth without the jaw. They don't have the jaw. Okay, and on the body they don't have scale. The body is devoid of scale. Their body is devoid of scale, and paired fins are present. Paired fins, okay, and devoid of scales and the paired fin. They don't have the paired fin. Fins are single. You'll find that they don't have the paired fins. Here one fin, here one fin, here one fin. They have the single fins. So they don't have the scales and they don't have the paired fins. Okay, mouth is circular and sucking type. They have 6 to 15 pairs of the gill slits through the respiration. Okay, these are the main character of the cyclostomata. And then cranium and vertebral column. Cranium is the brain box. Cranium and you see vertebral column are cartilaginous. Okay, cranium, or we can say the brain box and vertebral column. Okay, vertebral column. If you look at the here, the vertebral column here. Okay, vertebral column BC. Okay, and here the cranium or the brain box. These are cartilaginous. Cartilaginous means they are made of the very soft bone. They are not hard. Okay, so the cranium and vertebral column are made up of cartilage, or they are the cartilaginous or very soft bones. Okay, and circulation is of closed type. Closed type means they have the heart and the blood will flow in the arteries and veins. Okay, they have the circulation is of closed type, and cyclostomes are marine. They have marine habitat, but they migrate for spawning to freshwater. What do you mean by spawning? So during the period of okay, spawning, they lay eggs. Okay, and they require more oxygen. So in the salty water, amount of oxygen will be less. That's why they migrate upstream in the river where oxygen is more, and they lay eggs there. Okay, for the spawning or for the laying eggs, they require fresh water, but they live in marine habitat. This is the interesting thing. And after spawning, within a few days, they die. Okay, after laying the eggs, they die, and their larvae, after metamorphosis, return to the ocean. Their larvae metamorphosis means uh, there will be change in structure. Okay, the structure of the larva will change. They will turn again into jawless vertebrates, or the cyclostomata or the petromyosin example they have given, lamprey fish, and mixine is the hagfish. Okay, so they will change. They will transform into the adult shape. That's called as metamorphosis, and they return to the ocean. That's very simple. Now cyclostomata. Okay, external feature is there. They are ectoparasites on some fishes. They have an elongated body, having 66 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration, and they have a sucking and circular type of mouth, and cranium and and vertebral column are the cartilaginous made of soft bones. Okay, and the circulation is of closed type, right? And cyclostomata, they are marine, but they migrate into the freshwater during spawning period. After spawning, they die, and their larvae, after metamorphosis, return to the ocean. Example will be Petromyosin and Maxine. Okay, then we go to the Chondrichthyes class. Next class is the Chondrichthyes. Okay, next class. Okay, we have the Chondrichthyes now. Okay, now here, Chondrichthyes. 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 Okay, Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes. Now, Chondrichthyes is another class of the. They are the class of the Pisces. Superclass is a class, and they belong to the superclass Pisces. Okay, Pisces means the fishes. Fishes. Okay. So the Chondrichthyes belong to the Gnathostomata. Division will be Gnathostomata. Okay, division will be Gnathostomata. So division will be Gnathostomata, superclass will be Pisces, superclass will be Pisces, and class will be Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes is class. Okay. You see, the handwriting is slightly bad. My handwriting, because the because of the pen. So I can also write. Okay, the capital also if you want, but you have the book. That's why I'm just writing like that. Okay, so Chondrichthyes. Now, okay, Chondrichthyes are they bear the fins. Okay, the all the fishes which are all the class super class is the Pisces or fishes bear the fins. So first class is the Chondrichthyes, and second class is the Osteochthyes. So class Chondrichthyes, these are marine animals with streamlined body. Mm. They have a streamlined body and have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Inside the body, the skeleton is cartilaginous. The skeleton found in the body is called the endoskeleton, and it is cartilaginous, means it is our very very soft bones, right? Cartilaginous. So if you look at the Chondrichthyes example they have given, okay, Scalidon and the testis fish is there given. No, this is the Scalidon fish is there given, the Scalidon. Okay, right? Scalidon. Okay. Okay, now Scoliodon. 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 Okay. So what you find that the all kind of the condyctis are streamlined body and they have cartilaginous endoskeleton. They have the skeleton found inside is the cartilaginous. Okay, this is cartilaginous made of the soft bones. Okay, now okay then mouth is located ventrally. Ventrally means on the this is the dorsal side. Okay, and this is the ventral side. Ventral side. So okay, the mouth is located ventrally. Okay, and notochord is persistent throughout the life. In this, right from embryonic stage to the adult stage, notochord is present. Okay, and gills slits are separate and without the operculum. Gill slits we find here. This structure we find. Look at this structure here. Okay, gill slits. Okay, gill slits are these are the gill slits. Okay, gill slits. Now the gill slits without any gill cover. If you see the normal fish, you go to market and buy. If you suppose you go to market and buy a rohu fish. So here gills are you see gills are covered by a gill cover at the top. That's called as operculum. But here, in case of the in chondrichthyes, the gill cover is absent. And this gill cover above, this is absent. Okay, and gills are exposed outside. Gill slits are separated and without operculum. The skin is very tough. Skin is very tough, containing minute placoid scales. Okay, scales are two types here: cycloid and placoid. Cycloid scale are the circular scale. Is the circular scale. These are called as the cycloid, and placoid scales are plate-like scales like that. Okay, these are you see plate-like scales are there. These are the placoid scales, and the teeth are modified placoid scales. Teeth are modified. Teeth are also modified here into placoid scales, right? And the teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed. They are directly backwarded. Directly, they are directed backward, and their jaws are very powerful here. Okay, their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous. Predaceous means they are predator. They will eat the other small fishes. Okay, predators or other small animals or the larvae of the insects in the marine water, and that's why they are called as or predaceous. And due to the absence of the air, they don't have the air bladder or the sim bladder, and they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Okay, here, if you look at the figure here, okay, in most of the fishes, they have the, in most of the fishes, what happened? Inside, they have a bladder-like structure like this. Okay, this is called as the, this is called as air bladder. Okay, air bladder, or is called as swim bladder. Swim bladder. It is filled with the gases. Okay, bladder is filled with the gases, and due to the this will provide a buoyancy to the fish, and it can swim in water. But in Scoliodon, or in case of the Chondrichthyes, they don't have the air bladder or swim bladder. That's why they have to swim constantly, otherwise they will sink. Okay, so this very interesting thing is there that due to the absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. This is very important aspect here. They don't have air bladder or swim bladder. And the teeth are converted into placoid scale directed backward. That also you have to know that. And gills are without operculum or gill cover. And the notochord persists throughout the whole life. Okay, this thing you have to know. And heart is two-chambered. Heart is two-chambered. Okay, there will be one auricle and one ventricle. Okay. Uh, so auricle will be one and ventricle will be one. If you take out the heart here, okay, heart will be two-chambered. Okay, like that. Heart is divided into two chambers. One is auricle, and one is ventricle. Okay, ventricle. So heart will be divided two chamber, one auricle and one ventricle. And some of the chondrichthyes have electric organ. Example is a torpedo fish, we can say, or some possesses the poison sting. Example in case of the trigon. Okay, trigon fish possesses the poison sting, and the torpedo possesses electric organ. Okay, and they are cold-blooded or the poikilotherms animal. Cold-blooded means they cannot regulate their body temperature. They cannot equalize their body temperature with the temperature of environment. According to temperature, we can classify the animal into two types here. Okay, one is called as poikilotherms. Poikilotherms, and another is called as the homeotherms. Okay, homeotherms, right? You see that in case of the poikilotherms animal, they cannot equalize their body temperature with the temperature of the environment. And homeotherm, they can equalize their body temperature with the temperature of environment. So temperature of environment will be 40 degree, their body temperature is also 40 degree. But here in case of the poikilotherm, the temperature of the environment will be 40, their temperature will not be 40 degree. They may be less. Okay. So they are these all kind of chondrichthyes fishes are poikilotherms animal, and the sexes are separate. Male is different and female is different individuals. Okay, and then in male, pelvic fins bear clasp. Pelvic fin bears the clasper. Okay, they have internal fertilization and many of them are viviparous. Internal fertilization means fertilization takes place inside the body, and they can give birth to directly to the larva. That's why viviparous. Okay, egg will harm the egg. They will the larva will produce inside and directly they can give birth to the larvae, or that's why they are called as viviparous. Okay, now um, okay. Then we go to example are Scalidon or a dogfish, it is called. Okay, Pristis is the sawfish. They have given here Pristis, figure number 4.19b, Pristis, sawfish. And okay, then we have the Caradron. Great white shark is called as the Caradron, and stingray is called as the Trigon. Okay, stingray is called as Trigon. So, these are the example of the chondrichthyes. Now, we go to the class Osteichthyes. Okay, Osteichthyes. We go to the class Osteichthyes. Okay. Osteichthyes class, it includes both marine and the freshwater fishes with the bony endoskeleton. In case of the chondrichthyes, endoskeleton will be, it was what? It was the cartilaginous endoskeleton. Okay, the bones are very soft, or the bones inside the body are very soft. That's why it is cartilaginous endoskeleton. But in case of the Osteichthyes, the uh, endoskeleton is bony. Okay, the bone. Okay, the endoskeleton is made of, is hard. Okay, bony. Okay, and the other body, and here the body is streamlined. In all the fishes, the body is streamlined, so no problem. Here streamlined, and the mouth is mostly terminal. Mouth is in front. And in case of Osteichthyes, in case of chondrichthyes, we found that mouth was ventral. No, but here mouth is terminal, in front. Okay, suppose you have they have shown the example of the bony fishes hippocampus and the catla. No, the catla is a kind of rohu, a catla fish. Okay, so this is here we can say that the body is streamlined, a common feature of both chondrichthyes and osteichthyes, all the bony fishes or the non-bony fishes. Then the mouth is mainly terminal. They have four pairs of gills which are covered by operculum. Gills are covered, and the gills are four pairs. Suppose we take the example of the mouth here. So you see one pair, two pair, three pair, four pair. They are covered by operculum. This is called as operculum or gill cover. Gill cover. gill cover, and here, mm, okay, these are the four pairs of gills are there. Four pairs of gills are there inside. Because inside there, four pairs of gills are present there. Okay, then okay, they have skin is covered with the cycloid or tenoid scale. Okay, here on the skin, they have either cycloid scale or tenoid. Okay, tenoid scales are there. Okay, cycloid or tenoid is slightly smaller scales, and longer scale is called as the tenoid, and the circular scale is called as the cycloid scales on the body. And air bladder is present, which regulates the buoyancy. Inside, we find that, okay, there will be the air bladder inside. If you cut a fish there, inside we find that there will be the air bladder. Okay, this is called as the air bladder. They have the air bladder, and the air bladder is filled with the gases which regulate the buoyancy, and they can swim in water with the help of the buoyancy provided by the air bladder. And heart is again of two chamber, one auricle and one ventricle, just like in case of the condyctis. Okay, they are cold-blooded animal or the poikilotherms again. Okay, sexes are separate. Fertilization is, so here fertilization is external. They lay the eggs outside. They lay the eggs outside in the water, and also the sperm cells also outside. Okay, and fertilization takes place outside. Fertilization is external because it takes place outside in the water, and then there will be formation of the embryo, and embryo hatch into the larva. Okay, so they are cold-blooded. Sexes are separate. Male and female we get separate. Fertilization is usually external, and they are mostly oviparous, and development is direct. Oviparous means they will hatch. Larva will hatch from the egg, and directly they will develop. The egg will directly develop into larva. Example is our cetus, flying fish is there, hippocampus, seahorse is called, freshwater labio, rohu fish is there, katla, okay, mrigala is there, okay, clarius is the mangur, and all these are then the aquarium, we have the betta fish, known as fighting fish, okay, then angel fish is there, petrophyllum. So you have to learn only two examples, not more than that. Okay, then we go to next very, very important class of the animals. These are called the amphibians. Amphibians. We see the frog and the toad outside. In the muddy water, you find toad and frog. They will belong to the class Amphibia. And we have also the tree frog Hyla, and the salamanders, ichthyophis. These are the limbless amphibians known as the ichthyophis. Sometimes they ask in the NEET exam, example of the limbless amphibian. So it is the ichthyophis given in your book under the example. Ichthyophis is limbless. They don't have limb. And name the give the example of the true frog. True frog is called as the Hyla. And okay, it's called as Hyla tigrina, the scientific name. And the frog is called as the Rana tigrina, and the toad is called as Bopho melanistic. They have not given in the book. They put the full scientific name, they have not given. Anyway, so the class Amphibia, next class will go now. Okay. So class now, Amphibia. Amphibia. Amphibia means dwell. Okay, amphibians they dwell, and bios means life. They have the two form of life. They can These kind of animal belonging to class Amphibia. They can live in water also, and they can live in the land also. That's why the name Amphibia. Okay. Now they can live in aquatic as well as in the terrestrial habitat. That's why the name Amphibia. And now here, if you look at the diagram of the frog, you have seen in the figure now 4.21. If you look at the diagram of the frog here, Okay, if you look at the diagram of the frog now, okay. If you look at the diagram of the frog here, that's I've done a rough sketch here, no? And most of the amphibian, this is a frog, and this is amphibia. So here, if you look at the structure of the frog there, okay, body is divided into head and the trunk. This part is called as the head, okay, and this part is called as the trunk. There will be no neck. Neck is absent, only head and the trunk. Actually, the animal, we have head and neck and a trunk. Human being have the head, then we have the neck and the trunk. But here, they don't have the neck, head and the trunk. Body is divided into head and the trunk. Tail may be present in some. Some of them they have the tail. Otherwise, the tail is absent there. Okay. So the most characteristic feature is that they have two forms of life. They can live on the land, they can live in water, and the body is divided into head and the trunk. Tail may be present or absent. Amphibian skin is moist without scale. Amphibian skin of the amphibian is without scale, but it is always moist. Okay, skin is always moist. Amphibian skin is always moist, right? Okay, without scale, and skin is always moist, and the eyes have eyelids. Eyes are covered by the eyelid. Okay, the transparent cover is there. That is called as the eyelid. Okay, eyelid. Look at the eye there. On the top of the eye, there is transparent cover. Transparent cover is there. Transparent cover known as the eyelid. Okay, eyelid. Okay. Now, okay, then the tympanum present represent the ear. Now, ear is there. There is a structure called as the tympanum. Tympanum. Tympanum respond to any kind of vibration. So they will act like a ear. Okay, tympanum represent the ear because they can receive the vibrations. Okay, alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open in the common chamber called as the cloaca. Okay, they have a it's open to the exterior. Okay, if you look at the alimentary canal, okay, then excretory systems, right? And also the urinary system. Okay, this is the alimentary canal, a digestive system. Okay, this is the then urinary system, and also the reproductive tract. Reproductive tract. All will open into one common opening. This common opening is called as the cloaca. Very important point. You have to note that very important point. Urinary system. Okay, then we have reproductive system and the alimentary canal. All these three open into a common chamber called the cloaca, right? Okay, and cloaca opens exterior. If you dissect a frog, you find the cloaca, and the cloaca opens outside, right? And the respiration is very important point here. Respiration. If you go to the higher class, they will say that they have the two kind of respiration: cutaneous respiration, and also the respiration through the lungs, respiration through the gills. Okay, you see that in the larval stages, the larva of the toad and frog is purely aquatic animal because they live in water. Larva of the toad and frog, purely aquatic. They live in water, and these larvae respire through the gills. Okay, when they come on the land in the adult stage, okay, the larva will metamorphosis will be there, and it will change into adult stage. After a few days, you see, egg will be Egg will hatch into larva in the water, and the larva for few days it becomes an aquatic animal having all characteristic of the aquatic animal. Gill slits are there, all characters are there. Then okay, then their slowly metamorphosis will take place, and the larva will change into adult. And after few days, the larva will change into adult, and adult will jump out from the water on the land. So when it come on the land as the adult, the respiratory structure is lungs. Okay, and it also respire through the skin. Skin is also respiratory structure. So sometimes they ask in the exam, write the different respiratory structures in the amphibians. So different respiratory structures are the gills, the lungs, and the skin, right? And when they respire through the skin, it's called as the cutaneous respiration. And if they respire through the lungs, it is called as the pulmonary respiration. Okay, pulmonary. They have the pulmonary respiration. Pulmonary respiration. Okay, if the respiration takes place through the lungs, and if the respiration takes place through the skin, it is called as the cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous, okay, cutaneous respiration. Respiration takes place through the skin. Through the skin, it is the cutaneous respiration, right? Okay, so now here, okay, then the heart is three-chambered. Okay, in the fishes, it was two-chambered. Now, in the toad frog or in amphibians, it is three-chambered. They have the two auricles and one ventricle. Okay, they, uh, they have the two auricles and they have the one ventricle like that. The two auricles are there. Two auricles in this way, they are divided. Two auricles and like that. Two auricles and one, and they have the sorry, two auricles and one ventricle like that. Okay, so they have the two auricles and one ventricle. Heart is divided into three chamber. Okay, now, okay, then again, these are the cold-blooded animal or the poikilotherms, right? Sexes are separate. Male frog and female frog, or male toad and female toad will separate. You can get it separate. And fertilization is external. Again, just like the fishes here, also fertilization is external. And they are oviparous. They hatch from the larva will hatch from the egg, and development is indirect. Example will be toad, frog, I told you. Okay, so now next we go to the reptilia, class reptilia, next page. Page number 58, reptilia. Reptilia, all the reptiles like the crocodile or the snakes, all will come under the class reptilia. Chameleon is there. Okay. So here, reptilia, class reptilia, the class name refers to their creeping or crawling mode of, of locomotion. Why they are called reptilia? Because those animals which move through the creeping or crawling, they are called as the reptiles. Okay. So they are mostly terrestrial animal. They don't live in water. They are terrestrial animal, and the body is covered by dry and confined skin. Confined skin. They have epidermal scales or scitus. The upper structure. If you see the reptile, if you see a okay, if you see a tortoise, suppose you have seen a tortoise, or you have seen a lizard, you have seen snakes, you see the skin is very hard. Epidermis. Epidermis is called the upper layer of the skin, and it has got the scale, very hard scales. The scales are also called as the scitus. That no need of explaining that. You can see that. And they do not have external ear opening. They don't have external ear opening. And here tympanum is present just like in frog. Here also tympanum represent the ear. Okay, limbs are of two pairs here, just like in frogs also I have not mentioned. In the frog, in the book they have not mentioned, but the frog here limbs are the two pairs. Okay, right? Forelimb and hind limb. This is called forelimb and hind limb. And limbs has got the pads. Okay, through this they can live in water also, right? So they can swim in water also. That's why the pads are there here. Okay, and the forelimb and hind limb. Similarly, in the reptiles also, suppose we take a tortoise or the lizard, they have the forelimb and hind limb. Two pairs of limbs are present. And heart is Heart is usually three chambered, but only in crocodile, heart is four chambered. Remember that. Only in the crocodile. In the crocodile, you see, heart is four chambered. Heart is four chambered. Okay. In the crocodile, heart is four chambered. One, two, three, four. Two auricle and two ventricle in the crocodile, but other reptile it is three chambered. Okay, reptiles are poikilotherms. Poikilotherms. Okay, they are the cold-blooded animals. Okay, and then we go to see here. Examples are snakes, lizard, etc. Okay, they shed their skin. That's called the casting of skin. Okay, and the sexes are separate. We can get male reptile and female reptile. Fertilization is internal. Here, internal fertilization started. Fertilization is internal. And they are oviparous, and development is direct. Okay, fertilization is internal, but they lay the eggs, and from the egg, the larva will hatch out. Okay, okay. Sorry, from the egg, the adult will hatch out directly. Development is direct, not indirect. Indirect means there will be larva, then adult, and the direct means directly adult will hatch out. Okay, from the egg. Okay, example will be chameleon or turtle, then tortoise, then the tree lizard, garden lizard, crocodiles, alligators, etc. I can give a lot of example. Okay, NASA, that is the queen. It will be cobra snakes, poison snake, vipera, viper, all these bagaras or karite snakes. So all the snakes are also coming under the reptiles. So you have to remember that. Then we go to class apes now. Class apes or the birds. Okay, apes are called as the birds. Okay, apes are called as the birds. Class apes. Class apes. Okay. Okay, now class apes now here. In class apes, what we go at. Okay. Class apes, so these will belong to the birds. Okay, birds. So here, a characteristic feature of birds are presence of the feathers. No, suppose we take a bird here. Okay. Okay, so here they have the feathers. All the birds have the feathers. So the presence of the feather, and most of them they can fly, except the flightless birds like ostrich. Ostrich cannot fly, but all birds can fly. They have the feathers. The most important characteristic they possess is beak. Okay, they possesses beak. Beak here. Okay, they possesses beak. Okay, they possesses beak, and the forelimbs are modified into wings. Okay, well, that's an example in the reptiles, in the amphibians, we have seen forelimb and hind limb. In human being also, arms are the forelimb, and the legs are hind limb. But here, the forelimbs are modified into wings, and the hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking. Hind limbs are modified walking. So in the birds, we see one pair of leg, we see in the hind limb. Forelimb are where? Forelimbs are modified into the wings. Okay. So hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking, swimming, or clasping the tree branches. Okay. Skin is now dry without any glands, except they have the oil glands at the base of the tail. At the base of the tail, all the apes, all the birds have the oil glands. Here, we we get the oil gland. At the base of the tail, we get the oil glands. Okay, oil glands are found at the base of the tail, and they don't have any other glands. Okay, endoskeleton is fully ossified or bony. The skeleton found inside the body is bony, ossified. Ossification is there. It is be compact, and long bones are hollow with air cavities. Long bones are hollow with the air cavities. You see the bones inside the body, long bones are hollow because they have the air cavity. Due to air cavity, they can fly. They will be pneumatic. The digestive tract of birds has additional chamber, crop and gizzard. Look at the digestive system of the birds. So they have the crop or gizzard. This structure is called as the gizzard. Okay, crop or the gizzard. The digestive system has additional structure called the crop or gizzard. Okay, crop or gizzard is used for mastication of the food mainly. Okay, acha. Heart is completely four chambered, two auricle and two ventricle, and they are warm. So from the bird, see the blood become warm, warm-blooded animals, homeotherms. They can adjust with the temperature. They can equalize their body temperature with the temperature of the surrounding. That's why they are homeotherms. Okay, that is, they are able to maintain a constant body temperature. Respiration is by lungs. Okay, and air sacs connected to the lungs supplement respiration. Okay, they have the air cavities or air sacs in the body that are connected to the lungs, and they can give some additional respiration or supplement respiration. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal again, and they are oviparous. Egg will be from the egg they will develop. Okay, example crow, pigeon, all kind of birds we can say. Okay, ostrich, peacock, etc. Okay, then lastly we go to the class Mammalia today, and we'll complete the chapter. Mammalia or the mammals are those vertebrates which have the mammary glands are called as the mammals. Milk gland or mammary gland are called as the mammals. So, as the mammals are found in a variety of habitat, like the polar ice caps or desert, mountains, forest, grassland, and dark caps. Everywhere we can get mammals. Even in the water also, the whales are mammals. Okay, in the marine environment, we get the whales. These are also mammals. So some of them had adapted to fly or live in water. Also, they in the book. The most unique mammalian characteristic is the presence of milk-producing gland or mammary gland, as I told you, by which the young ones are nourished. They have the two pairs of limbs, forelimb and hind limb, adapted for walking, running, and climbing, burrowing, swimming, or flying. Okay, very simple. The skin is of the mammal is unique in presence of they possess skin has got the hairs. We have hairs. Other mammals also you find they have hairs. Okay, just like any horse, deer, rabbit, all our mammals they have the hairs. And external hair, and we have the external ear or the pinny, and are present. In other, we find the tympanum was there. So we have external ear or pinny, and in the mammal, they have different types of teeth of different shapes. And the teeth are present in the jaws. Heart is four chambered. Okay. And mammals are homeotherm, respiration by lungs. Everybody knows that. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. And mammals are viviparous with a few exceptions. Some of the mammals are egg-laying mammals also. Like here they have given in the example, Ornithorhynchus, platypus. Okay, platypus, they are viviparous. That means they lay the eggs. Sorry, they platypus, they lay the eggs. And also, we have viviparous mammals are kangaroo, flying fox, camel, okay, the rats, cats, elephants, okay, lion, including the human beings. So, with this today we come to end of the animal kingdom and plant kingdom. Both we have finished today. Sorry, animal kingdom we have finished. Invertebrate, vertebrate, and the chordates. So with this we come to end of the chapter to the students, and then in the next class we will take some other chapter.